but God had different plans. And definitely came from left field, but it was his last resort to save me and pull me out of this great deception, because I would have led so many other people astray. I would have created a domino effect of deception without even knowing it, thinking I was doing something good and something right. And luckily, Jesus came through. He came through big time. So how that happened was, I was on a trip. I was away in Canada, and I was at an Airbnb. And again, I was about to launch. I was super excited to launch this business. I was ready to go, put a lot of work and time into it. And my girlfriend at the time was having second thoughts about this whole New Age thing. And she was messaging me about it, talking to me about it, and bringing up Jesus and the Bible. And I would almost like cringe when I heard the name Jesus. I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you moving backwards in spirituality? Like, I was like looking down on that type of spirituality at that point. I'm like, oh, they're just not as evolved in their spiritual development or whatever. So I was like so confused, because I was trying to understand where she's coming from, why all of a sudden the change of heart. And I was frozen. I didn't know. I had all these emotions. I was angry. I was confused. I was frustrated. I just didn't understand why she was talking about Jesus all of a sudden, why she was saying she's not into the psychedelics, not into the New Age, the meditations, and all of that. And I just couldn't compute. It just shook me big time. And that's what I needed. I needed a shakeup, and I needed a wake-up call without even knowing it. So it was enough to where I really cared about her, so I wanted to at least take a look at what she's talking about. Like 99% of me wanted to continue with where I was going, but the 1% was like, all right, if I consider myself an open-minded person, if I consider myself someone who really is searching for truth, I'm going to take a look at what she's saying, and I'm going to analyze it and make my decision based off that information and not just reject it. Because the sign of an intelligent person is someone who can entertain an idea without immediately accepting or rejecting it when that information comes. So you can entertain it. And that's what I was thinking. Like, I have to at least look at this. So as angry and frustrated as I was at the point where I'm just going to break up, because our foundations, our spiritual foundations, are completely different now. So it was tough. It was a lot emotionally. It was a big shift in my. It was like, there's no way I could be deceived. Like, there's absolutely no way. Like, I know what I'm doing is real. There's spiritual power in this, and I've seen like things happen, and I've seen fruits of some sort, at least temporary fruits, where I was like, okay, like, there's no way I'm deceived. I'm just going to maybe prove her wrong here. So what I did is I was in my Airbnb. I was just kind of sitting there thinking things over, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a look at what she's saying. I'm just gonna take a look, so maybe I can prove her wrong, or at least see what she's talking about. And I actually was looking at the bookshelf at my Airbnb. This is a random place in Canada. And it was like dead of winter, freezing outside, so I was stuck there. And I looked at the bookshelf, and I saw a Bible at the bottom of the bookshelf, which is funny enough. It was right there. And from there, I picked it up, dusted it off, went over to the table, and I was like, okay. I said a little prayer. I hadn't prayed at this point. I hadn't prayed in like 6 years. Like, I didn't believe in prayer. I was like, what's the point? Like, we're just attracting things. I'm the God, right? Who am I praying to? But I was like, I'll say a prayer. If God does exist, I'll say a little prayer. See what happens. So I said a little prayer. I cracked open the Bible, and I was feeling all these emotions. I was a little teary-eyed at that point. And I'm like, God, like, if you're out there, I just want the truth. Like, I just want the truth. Please, like, if I'm being deceived right now, let me know. Like, why? First of all, why would you even let me go down this whole path for years of this New Age stuff if if it wasn't true, if it wasn't you. You knew I was seeking truth. Why would I even be going down that path? So I was feeling some type of way, all these different type of emotions, and I just started reading. I cracked open the Bible, went to the New Testament, and just started reading. And I couldn't stop reading. I read the entire New Testament. And before, I'd never really even touched the Bible, or I never even read like more than 1, 2, 3 chapters because I just got bored right away. I was just like, I don't get it. But for whatever reason, I was glued and hooked, and I just started to feel like this peaceful feeling come over me, kind of like feeling like I'm at home, like I am on sturdy foundation, like the spiritual food was being fed to me. And all of the other seeking and searching I was doing with the New Age, I never felt this way. Like I was constantly seeking, constantly reading, constantly spending money on different gurus and practices and this and that and the other. And I wasn't getting a solid foundation. I never felt solid. I felt wishy-washy. I felt like I was on sand. But when I started reading the Bible, something about it gave me that sense of peace and truth. And that really planted the seed to where I was hungry for more. I was really hungry. I couldn't even sleep. I was reading more and more about Jesus and who he was. I was reading biblical things and extra biblical things, looking into apologetics, people defending the faith. Jesus was a real person in this world. Like even atheists will admit that. And I didn't really look into that before. I didn't really look into apologetics. I didn't really look into the facts. I didn't really understand what separated Christianity from other religions. I'm like, oh, they're all the same, but there's a big difference. Christianity is exclusive. In the Bible, Jesus says, John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So what he's saying is that he's the only way. Christianity is exclusive. Other religions aren't like that. And that, basically explains why there's so much adversity to Christians, because he draws a line. He's like, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. He's telling you the truth. So you take it however way you want to take it. If you want to be salty about it or think it's going to hurt humanity or whatever, because it's separating, whatever way you want to take it. But he gives people the truth straight up, and he's not going to sugarcoat it. So he's the way, the truth, and the life, and that really it got me thinking. And I started watching testimonials. I started watching testimonials like this, hundreds of them, thousands of them. I was fascinated by the stories of people, particularly coming from New Age to Jesus, and I dove into Stephen Bancar's and watched all of his videos. And they were fascinating because they were answering questions. They were connecting dots that weren't connected before when I grew up in the church, that the church wasn't really sharing. And it really made a lot of sense. And it got me thinking, and it started to feed me and nourish me and sanctify me to where I was starting to realize that I have been deceived. And it takes someone to put down their ego, put down their pride, realize they aren't God. Plus, you're a terrible God if you are God. You're not the best God. There's all the problems in your life. There's all the things that you don't know are going to happen in the future. You're not the best God. So take that burden off. Put it onto Jesus. Cast all your burdens onto the one true God. Let him be the Lord of your life. So that's what I started to do. And watching these testimonies, Stephen Bancar's really exposing a lot of the New Age, a lot of the deception, and watching people. This is the biggest thing. This was the thing from all these testimonies that really solidified it for me, is when people would have demonic experiences or attacks because they got deeper and deeper into the New Age, where these spirits they would talk to, these spirit guides or ascended masters, which some of my gurus would talk about, they're actually demons in disguise. And that's where, this is what really got me, is where, so there's a little verse I want to read really quick I have written down. Dear friends, do not believe in every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. Another one is Satan disguises himself as an angel of light, 2 Corinthians 11:14. So these spirits are disguising themselves as angels of light. So when I watch these testimonies, people would go from New Age to Jesus. They would wake up to the truth, and the only thing that can help them is using Jesus' name. So that's the thing. That's what Satan doesn't want you to know. That there's power in the name of Jesus. That's it. And whenever they'd have these demonic attacks or something would happen that would scare them or something dark, the only thing, it wasn't Buddha, it wasn't any of these other gurus that lived, it was Jesus. The only name was Jesus that could save them from their experience, that would instantly pull them out of a bad nightmare or dream or stop a demonic attack, because these entities, these dark demons and creatures and these spirits were in disguise. They were acting as angels of light, but they were terrified of the name of Jesus. So that's what really clicked for me when I was watching these testimonies, where I was like, wow,